It is me, Infinity 8. I just wanted to check in really quick. First of all, I want to thank y'all so much for watching my previous videos, whether it was a Sister Lock Journey video or the spirituality video. I really appreciate it. As I continue to make, little videos and put them out there. I hope I say something that's beneficial, to some of you. But tonight, I just wanted to talk really quick on how to live free. How to live a life of freedom and how to live a life, of peace. And what I find is most people who are not free, don't feel free or don't feel at peace, they're pretty much living at an egoic level. And basically, the egoic level is, your will, your desires, what you think, things that you may cling to. In Christendom, we may say, the flesh, you living out of the flesh. And so, when you're living out of your ego, you create suffering for yourself, and then you also create suffering for other people. And so, and one of the things that can kind of help us, not to live out of the egoic is, first of all, to understand what the ego is and to be able to separate the real you from, the ego, your spirit from, your flesh. And the first step to doing that is actually just trying to bring your awareness to it. Your thoughts, our thoughts are constantly going, every day. Well, of course, every day, but your thoughts are going just constantly, and you're being told, your mind is telling you stories every day, all day, throughout the day. Your mind is telling you stories. And so what we can do sometimes is kind of start bringing our awareness to exactly what is our mind telling, what is my mind telling me right now? What is my, what did I just think? What was my thought? Like, start bringing your awareness to your thoughts and what you are thinking. And so once you start bringing your awareness to your thoughts and what you are thinking, you will begin to identify, what's your ego? What's the story that's being told here? What's the story that's being told throughout the day? And then you can fact check some of the stories that your mind is telling you throughout the day. Example, you may be on the job and someone may, I don't know, look at you a certain way, and your mind is like, look at how she looked at you. She don't like you. So when you fact check that, pay attention that your mind just told you that. And then ask yourself, is that really true that she don't like me? Then what you have to do is fact check it. Did she tell me she didn't like me? How do I really know that? So that's just kind of an example for you to start kind of pay attention to what your ego is telling you. Your ego love to create stories and love to get you in a position where you cling to those stories. And once you cling to those stories, you begin to act out and live your life out of what your ego is telling you. And it could be just a lie, because we're living out of the ego. We're living out of the flesh, and we're not bringing our attention to really start paying attention. Our spirit is that place of joy and peace. Joy and peace. When you begin to separate, your ego from what your spirit really is, you as time go on and you start really bringing your awareness to the fact that this is just my mind, telling me this. This is my mind, and you start fact checking, then you will kind of see things starting to level off. But your spirit is just love, peace, and it is where divinity dwells. Or you may say where God dwells, or where the Holy Spirit is. So, but that's straight love and peace. Your ego is just, that's your flesh. And so when we live out of that, it creates suffering. And so it also creates fear. It creates anxiety. It makes us think that we're gonna lose something. Like, it creates, worry. So that's when you're living from an egoic level. So if you find that you don't have any peace, if you're finding that you don't feel free, it's because you are allowing your ego to run your life and not allowing your spirit, where divinity dwells, to rule your life. And so the one of the things that we have to do is we have to live a life of detachment. You have to detach. Like for me, I'm not attached to anybody. I'm not attached to my children. I'm not attached to my family. I'm not attached to my best friend. I'm not attached to my mother. I'm not attached to anybody. And it doesn't mean that I don't love them. It doesn't mean I don't love them. Like, I love my family. But not being attached is to live a life and and to be aware that nothing is permanent and you live life loosely. So like I don't have all these unrealistic expectations for people. Life is as it is. We have happy times, we have sad times. People are wonderful to us. People can hurt us and disappoint us. It's life. It's going to happen. So when I have an attachment to somebody hurting me, and I just, because they hurt me, I allow all this, this bitterness. First of all, my mind is going to start, telling me the stories about how they did it. And I'm going to keep, reliving it over and over again, and, it may make me, angry and then sad. And that's being attached. Like you're allowing your ego to like just run you. So you creating all this suffering because somebody hurt you. Will our feelings get hurt? Yes, but you don't attach yourself to it. You don't cling to it. You don't cling to the pain. You don't cling to the disappointment, because the reality is people are people. People are not perfect. I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody's going to hurt my feelings. But when you live life loosely, you accept people for who they are. Life is as it is. And so somebody might be saying right now, well, what if they always, say something and, against me, and they're always trying to hurt me or whatever? Then that's when you let people go. That's when you create a space in your life to where that person do not have direct access in your life. You love them, but they just don't have the position in your life to continue to create, suffering for you. So if it doesn't serve you, then you let it go, you free it, but you don't be attached to the pain. And one of the things that we do, how we continue to create suffering is we relive our pain over and over again. So when someone hurt us, we have to call our friend, then we have to call this person, and we keep telling a story over and over and over again. And that story, you're giving that story so much energy, and it just constantly creates suffering. So you're really not free, and that person really have power over you, and that person is really controlling you. So when I say, I'm not attached to anybody, it doesn't mean that I don't love them. It doesn't mean that I'm not committed to anybody. It just means that person, I don't live a life where that person gives me my worth and value, or that thing gives me my worth and value. God gives me my worth and value. Divinity gives me my worth and value. There's nothing outside of me that gives me worth and value. So if I am relying on a person to give me worth and some value, then that's unhealthy. You're clinging. You are clinging to something that another human being cannot do. A husband cannot fill your voids, your emotional voids. A wife cannot fill your emotional voids. Those things come from within you. And so when I say, husband and wives, they should not even be attached. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't be committed. It does mean that they shouldn't honor their marriage, but they shouldn't be attached or cling or have all these unrealistic expectations, for one another. Your marriage should be based on love, pure love. And when it's love, people feel free. Love frees you. Love feels free. because love, I mean, there's no beginning, there's no end. Like, we just love each other, and I don't love you because you doing this, that, or other. Real love, there's no, first of all, real love, you're not expecting a whole lot in return. But it's gonna, but when you really, if it's mutual, you're gonna, whatever you give out, it's gonna come back. Like, it's free. Love is free. But, but if there's mistrust, if there's, I don't know, jealousy, and all these other things that create suffering, you're clinging to something, and it's bondage. It's bondage. But real love is free. Real love, two people just enjoying each other, not clinging to each other, allowing one another to have their freedom, their individuality, while we're having this beautiful experience, with of this union with us, with one another. We have this union that we are experiencing, and I'm not attached, because I do realize, I am aware of the fact that there's a possibility that this won't last forever, because it won't last forever. Marriage don't last forever. Marriage either ends by separation, divorce, or death. And for most of us, we want it to be death do us part. We don't want it, of course, we don't get married to wanting to be separated or divorced, but it will end. It will end. So when I say I'm not attached, it means that honestly, I'm gonna love you even more, because I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be committed to you. I'm gonna be loyal, because I don't know how long we're gonna have this experience with one another. So while we are experiencing this right now, we're going to enjoy it, and I'm going to love you. And of course, I want it to be death do us part. But I'm aware that life is life. Life is as it is. So when you live life loosely, you free yourself, and then you free other people. Everybody's not bound to what your ideas and your concepts are. Like, people have to be free. And so in order for you not to, create all this suffering in your own life, don't set all these expectations on people. Don't expect everybody to do, what you think they should do and how you think they should do it. Like, we don't dominate. We human beings cannot dominate one another. That's why we have so many problems in the world. Like, you have one race want to dominate the other. It's not possible for humans to dominate. The only thing that we're supposed to dominate, are animals. That's it. But human beings, we cannot dominate each other. We are free, So anyway, I just wanted to just, reach out and just tell you guys, start living a life of, of non-attachment. Do not attach to ideas, concepts, ideologies. Be free, relax, like chill, relax, like enjoy what comes, and let go of what needs to be let go. You free yourself, and you free, other people. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions about what I'm saying, because I really want to make sure that, that you kind of understand, what I'm saying. If you have any questions, you can, if you're on YouTube, you can, hit me up, in the comments below. If you're on Facebook, you can send me an instant messenger. I will respond to you. If you want to put a comment below, that's fine. If you want to email me, I'm at misssmith4040@yahoo.com. That's Miss Smith, MSSMITH 4040@yahoo.com. Like, any questions you may have, I will be happy, to answer any questions. But I just, people I just want to see people living, free and at peace, and living, life is as it is. Is what it is. And so if you have questions or anything like that, hit me up, and I can, because it's really hard to go into deep details when you're just doing a quick video. But if you I will walk you through, if you need help on, living a life with not, of non-attachment, I will help you. I really will help you. I'll develop a plan for you, I'll work with you. You know, I can give you some resources, you know, just so you can just feel free and just feel, you know, at peace, because all of us, we are created to be free, you know, not to live in bondage to anything. We are, you know, created to be free and to know who we are, and, you know, to really find our place in the world, and, you know, how we, you know, why we were created, and what's, you know, what's our role, you know, not our role according to somebody else, but what's our role, you know, according to, you know, divinity. What did divinity, why am I here? You know, what am I supposed to do? So anyway, I just wanted to check in really quick, and, you know, just talk to you guys, you know, quick about just living a life of non-attachment. You will be so free, and you will be, you know, at peace. So anyway, thank you guys so much again for watching. Talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye.